What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode 149 of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, subscribe, follow, and share the link with your friends, or click on the support link in this episode's description. Your donation of any amount could change a life. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. When we come back, we'll get into this episode entitled Signs Plant Seeds. Welcome back to episode 149 of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast entitled Signs Plant Seeds. I want to give a big welcome to my friends in recovery from the U.S., South Africa, and Australia for their participation in this group. As before, I'll be keeping them anonymous, but I'll be saying their answers as if we were having a live group meeting. Guys, as a follow-up to last week's session on signs, I've got 3 more quotes for you. And remember that signs plant seeds. So which of the following quotes would you have as a sign on the wall at the entrance of a sober living house that you would open up? You ready? Here's the 3 quotes. Number 1, I'm not telling you it is going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. That's an anonymous quote. And number 2, well, actually all 3 are anonymous this week. Number 2 is, my recovery must come first so that everything I love in life doesn't have to come last. And number 3, recovery didn't open up the gates of heaven and let me in. Recovery opened the gates of hell and let me out. Ben, I included that 3rd one because I know you wanted to work it in last week, so we'll give you a chance to open up today's session with that 3rd one. Yes, David and guys, that one that Harry closed last week's group session with, recovery didn't open the gates of heaven and let me in. Recovery opened the gates of hell and let me out, really resonates with me. And I really don't think it needs much unpacking, to be honest about it. I would challenge or invite any new intake into my sober living house just to meditate on what that sign looks like. The pure hell that we lived in and all of the intricacies involved with it. Then seeing recovery as the key to unlock that door and let you out of hell. Why would you want to go back to that? Great segue from last week to start us off there, Ben. And I like your question. Why would we want to go back to that? Anyone else for number 3 this week? Okay, how about number 2? The one that said, my recovery must come first so that everything I love in life doesn't have to come last. Charlie, you ready? Sure, David. That quote would be a sign visible at the front entrance and in every hallway of a house that I ran. Once we realize we don't have to be perfect and we can just show up and try our best, it's important to know what our priorities are. With this disease and as a human in general, our recovery, or what we find sustains our recovery, must be priority number 1 and never go away from that. For me, I found God in recovery. We are here to love God and to be in relationship with Him. That's why so many who find joy in long-term sobriety after hitting rock bottom or realizing that something is missing in life can find new life in recovery. Because it's about being reborn in Christ and following Him so that we may be whole and covered by the righteousness of God. We can live the right way and a righteous way when we prioritize and take it one day at a time. Wow. So true, Charlie. This quote definitely plants the seeds to grow in us as the tree of priorities must stay priorities. And that's an awesome seed to grow. Anyone else for this number 2 quote? No? Okay, how about number 1? I'm not telling you it is going to be easy. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. Eddie? Sure, David. This one rings so true for me. Nothing good comes easy. It's a new road, a new direction, new beginnings. It's a new you. Addiction takes its toll on any individual. So much brokenness when you start this journey. It's going to be very hard to create change and create new habits. But with it comes new dreams and new desires. But we have to dig deeper and be ready to break down more in prayer, in love, in grace, and to be molded into the person you were born to become. We don't deal with people, we deal with the heart. Definitely, it's not an easy place to start, but definitely it's going to be worth it in the end. Shaw, Eddie, you're speaking my language there. It is all about the heart issues, and it's not an easy path. It's painful, but well worth the pain for the freedom and healing we find. Harry, it looks like you're identifying with that heart journey of pain, but well worth it. Yes, David, especially what happened to me being a chronic addict, homeless, and no other help besides the Bible, a room in the church, and a toilet with a shower. My first 3 weeks into recovery was dreadful, and I thought I was going to die every day for those first 3 weeks. I had no methadone. I couldn't eat or sleep. Constant vomiting, crying, shakes, and shivers. I so much wanted to relapse, but I knew I couldn't because the Lord told me that this was my last chance. I begged my late pastor for some medication or even to get me a bottle of methadone to help me with the withdrawals, but he refused. He said that he will allow me to come to the church every day at 6 a.m. and leave at 10 p.m., but that I could not sleep at the church and needed to find accommodation every night elsewhere because, quite frankly, everyone was tired of me being around. Well, after 3 months of the daily routine of going to the church and praying, I managed to land a job with a company car and a room to rent. From there onwards, everything else that I wanted came in according to the Lord's timing and not mine. This sacrifice that I chose to restore my life and turn to God was truly an amazing experience. And I have to admit, until today, I still get cravings, but I have learned how to overcome them with certain Bible verses and focusing on how beautiful my life is now. Wow. Thank you so much, Harry, for sharing that hard path you had to walk to get free. Dante, would you like to close this off today? Sure, David. I'm not telling you this is going to be easy, guys. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. A life of ease and leisure is a lie from the enemy. While ease and leisure are good in short and small pockets of time, they're not the greatest thing for us, and they're not the most fulfilling parts of life. Typically, the most fulfilling parts of life have aspects of them that are very difficult. The road to recovery is not easy, but with patient endurance and the self-respect gained, it's worth it. Shaw. Great point to close on, Dante. And I think it's key for all of our listeners to remember that as we walk the difficult road of recovery, as we walk that hard path, as we make those sacrifices of certain leisure and easy ways that we give up and endure and persevere on the hard path, that we will get free. And one of the awesome things that you said, Dante, is that as we walk that difficult road of recovery, that hard road to find healing and freedom, we gain self-respect, with every step we take. Thanks for listening to this episode of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast. If you would like to join an online group or get one-on-one counseling to help you in this hard path of recovery, please message me on the link in this podcast or by email at davidfromatod@gmail.com, or go to my website, www.fromatod.org, and click on the contact page. You can keep in touch with what we're doing in From A to D by following me on Instagram at davidfromatod. For our Spotify listeners, you can leave your comments by clicking on the link they provide on that platform. Tune in Monday for our next episode, and as always, stay safe and stay strong.